Hi YouTube, I'm Chris. This is my show. My life is an air adventure. Usually I do toy reviews, toy openings, mostly Funko Pop vinyls. But today I actually get to do a book haul. I was going to do a book review when I finished the one I bought last night, but I actually made it to Barnes & Noble today and spent an ungodly amount on books. I found a bunch that I wanted, none on sale, but I have a Barnes & Noble membership, so they were a little bit cheaper. I talk with my hands. But so this is my first book haul. I'm kind of inspired to do these book reviews from the girls at Get Bookish, Les and Bex. Big fan of theirs, so hopefully they'll watch it. I'm going to tag Get Bookish in here and when I'm done and see if they hopefully they'll watch it. Okay, my first book. Now, what did I do with it? I had it somewhere. Oh, it's right behind me. My first book I bought at Walmart this morning. It is Sarah Shepard's The Perfectionist, and I'm about 115 pages in it. I'll probably finish it sometime tonight. Sarah Shepard, of course, writes the Pretty Little Liars, which ABC Family successfully adapted into a TV series, and The Lion Game, which they completely ignored when they adapted it, except for the main characters have the same name, but other than that, the series was nothing like it. So this is a new series she's writing. It basically the premise is 5 perfect girls came up with the perfect murder. Be careful. And then it happened just like they'd planned. The thing is, they didn't do it. Wish for. So who did? Obviously I'm not the target audience for a book about teen girls, but for some reason I love them. I've read most of the Pretty Little Liars, not all of them. I've read a couple of the Lion Game books, not all of them, but I like them. I've read all of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants books, loved them, except the last one because it's sad. But life's sad sometimes. So that I bought from Walmart last night. Today, the first 2 books go together. I'd been looking for these editions of them since right around Christmas time and hadn't been able to find them. And the reason I'd been looking for these editions because I really liked these editions. The Hobbit, the leather-bound edition, and Lord of the Rings leather-bound edition. Now, they have the smaller version of the Lord of the Rings with the Hobbit, but I wanted the big version of the Lord of the Rings. This is the whole series, right? I didn't even look at it when I bought it. Let's see. Looks like it is. Yeah, it's got the 2 towers and Return of the King in here too. So yeah. I've never actually read either of these. I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones and Harry Potter and some of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe books. And I decided I was going to wait until after the Hobbit series was finished before I tried to read these, so I wouldn't go into the Hobbit, either of the following Hobbit movies, and be pissed off that it wasn't anything like the book. So now I can read the book and gripe and complain with the rest of you. So, those are definitely on my reading list. Sometime this year. I've been waiting to get them. The next book is also on my reading list. It's Jodi Picoult's The Leaving Time. And usually Jodi puts out a book right around my birthday. This year it came out quite a bit later because I think probably it had something to do with the fact that she wrote a book with her daughter. And it came out in between her last book, which was... what was her last book? The Storyteller, and this one. And so I think maybe that threw off her schedule. But I'll forgive her, and I'll read this. Her books have been hit or miss. You know, no one's perfect, but I'm hoping I will really enjoy this one. Of course, my favorite two are 19 Minutes and My Sister's Keeper. Those are probably, in my opinion, those are her best books. And then I bought the illustrated edition, special illustrated edition, signed copy of Dan Brown's The Inferno. Now, I've read Angels and Demons and the Da Vinci Code, and what was the other one called? The Lost Symbol. I don't have the illustrated edition of The Lost Symbol, so I need to get that. I have the regular version. I think I bought it at a Goodwill. This has got a tear. Always pay attention when you buy something. It's not a tear, it's just kind of a slice. But it's fine. It's on the back, so you never notice it. So yeah, I think this is the final edition of his Robert Langdon series. I'm not sure. And I've read part of it. When I wasn't working, I would go to Walmart and sit and read. But I never finished it. But I've got the illustrated edition, and I've got it sitting here at home, so I'll get to this sometime this year. Some books I read faster than others. That one will probably be a pretty fast read. I mean, his books are what a lot of people call popcorn fiction. But I'm a fan. I like the first two. I remember thinking The Lost Symbol was a little bit predictable. Well, they were all a little bit predictable, but, you know, it's still... It's kind of fun when you can predict a book. And then the final two books, one I've actually already read. I read it over the summer, but I think Bex did a review of it and recommended it, and I actually really liked it. And I bought it because I borrowed it from the library, and I'm really excited about the sequel coming out, which I forgot to look up the title to. I was too busy looking up Les and Beck's name to make sure I got them right. But yeah, Half Bad by Sally Green. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the sequel to it. If you want something that's as close to Harry Potter as you can get, without being complete copyright infringement, this is it. But yeah, so I'm a big fan of this book, and I'm looking forward to the sequel, but I wanted to own this one before I bought the sequel. I don't like buying books out of order or whatever. And the final book I bought is Herman Melville's Moby Dick. Now, I know it's a bit cliche to pick Moby Dick as your first Melville. But I've been meaning to read it. I've read the a very much abridged version that you could buy at like Marsh or Walmart or wherever, you know, the kids version. When I was a little kid, I read it and Tale of Two Cities and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I think that's it. But I'd read the kiddie versions of those that were very much abridged. This version is obviously, of course, this is noted. Annotated. Is that right? Let's see. This one is 655 pages. So yeah, this could take me a while. Especially depending on how, how well it's written. I know it's Melville, and of course it's gonna be well written. It's a classic, but and I didn't, they don't have the a fancy leather bound edition of it, but I got the Barnes and Noble classic version. So I'm excited to read it. And if you didn't get the reference to, I know it's cliche to pick Moby Dick as your first Melville, that was a Gilmore Girls reference. I'm a big fan of Gilmore Girls. Rest in peace, Edward Herrmann, who passed away yesterday, or earlier this week. I'm not sure exactly when, but yeah, that's really sad. But so yeah, this is my, I don't know what you call it. This is my homage, not homage, but this is my, I got this from Rory Gilmore, basically. Moby Dick was her first Melville. So yeah, it's probably the only Melville I'll read, but we'll see. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, I've never actually read either of them, which is quite sad. I'm a big fan of the Game of Thrones, and I just put Game of Thrones was the first real fantasy book I'd ever read, fantasy series I'd ever read, unless you count Harry Potter, which I didn't really count as a fantasy, more as a, I don't know, modern adventure, I guess. But yeah. So hopefully I enjoy him. I hear he's quite wordy. But I've enjoyed the movies, and I know the books are quite a bit different. So we'll see. I'd actually sat through 2 seasons of Game of Thrones before I picked up any of the books, and I enjoyed them still, the first 2 books. And the 3rd, 4th, and 5th book I really enjoyed. So we'll see. Like I said, I've already read Half Bad. Part of the Inferno, but I'll start over, and in fact I might actually read all 4 books in that series at once. So yeah, that was my book haul. I'm not going to tell you what I spent, but it was probably about almost half my weight, which, if you can see, I'm a big guy. So in fact, probably with the Sarah Shepard book that I bought this morning, it was probably exactly half my weight. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll get to do a video a month. That, of books that I've read and enjoyed. So yeah, thanks, BookTube, YouTube, Get Bookish, Bex, and Les. I really enjoy your videos. Keep them up. Even though some of the books I don't always enjoy. I've read quite a few of your suggested reads. I just, earlier this year, I finished, what was the one? Fangirl. I really enjoyed Fangirl. I really enjoyed the 24-hour bookstore. The one about the person that changed bodies every day. What else? Was there anything else I read that you recommended? Half Bad. So, I do enjoy a lot of your suggestions. And some of them I'd already read. The only one I didn't like was Sharp Objects by that lady that wrote Gone Girl. But, yeah. So hopefully I'll get to do more videos. Last year I tried to read 50 books. I tried to do the 50 book challenge or whatever, which, I just picked my own books that I wanted to read. This year I was going to read a lot more. I didn't succeed. I think I got to about 39 books. This year I'm going to try to read a lot more classics. And, actually get through some of the classics like the Moby Dick. I'm going to try once again to read Dante's Inferno. Or actually the Divine Comedy, the whole Divine Comedy. There's some other books that I need to read, but classic books. You can see my library is very small, but diversified. I've got the Dan Browns. I've got some Dean Koontz. I've got the Insurgent series, which sucked, or the Divergent series, which sucked. I've got the Leviathan trilogy, which was awesome. Some Nora Roberts, some John Green, which I really enjoyed most of his books. even though I consider him a murderer because he kills people in just about every book. Harlan Coben, I'm a big fan of. If you like mysteries, I really recommend most of Harlan Coben's. Jodi Picoult, I'm a big fan. John Grisham, even though he's gotten in trouble lately. Laura Weiss, if you've never heard of her, she's really good. Writes a lot of serious teen drama. Carrie Pilby, which is getting ready to be a movie. They're filming it this year. I paid $5 to Kickstarter so that one of my favorite books. I mean, I have a lot of favorite books, so that it could be made into a movie. So yeah, I read quite an array of series. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know how flabbergasted you are that I've never read The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. And hopefully Les and Beck will see this and reply. Have a good day, guys.